Hey guys, welcome to the Acrylic Asylum. In this video, we're going to do this blurry bokeh out of focus cityscape. All the tools and materials are down in the description box below. For help with the drawing process, you can get the traceable image for this up over on Patreon in 2 standard canvas sizes. Alright guys, let's get started. So starting off, I have my number 18 flat brush. I'm going to start with the sky here in the middle between the buildings. So on my palette, I've got Phthalo Blue, Permanent Black, and Titanium White. So I'm going to primarily work with these 3 colors for the background to start with. Just a little blue, a touch of black, and mostly Titanium White. So with this light dull blue color, this is more of a Payne's gray when you add black to blue. To the blue side it is, as you can see. So I'm going to go around the buildings and fill the sky in here, and I'm going to get progressively lighter as I go down. So with that, I'm just going to take more Titanium White without cleaning. I want to start in front of the color that I put down first. And as paint runs a little bit less on the brush, it'll help to blend that up into that darker value, just like so. Okay, and as you can see, this first coat of paint allows me to see my lines already through that. And so I'm not worried about covering stuff up. I'm just going to go for it. So with more Titanium White now. And again, same thing, just gonna fade that up into that other color. So now I'm picking up more color here. And down here, I want it just a little bit darker, and I'll go ahead and fade that up into that lighter value there. So no cleaning necessary. I'm just gonna pick up some Permanent Black now and Phthalo Blue, no Titanium White. And this is our building color, so I want to start where I want to paint the heaviest first on the outside of the building. So right over here, this is very important because as paint runs off the brush as I get towards the sky, on the edge of my building, I just want to fuzz this paint out and have it transparent, kind of like this. And this is what bokeh is all about, and that out of focus look, and what gives that impression is giving those fuzzy edges like that. So again, out here first, where I want paint the heaviest. And I'm not worried about the bokeh lights. I kind of laid them out just to see where they would go and in their general locations. So see, now paint's not on the brush really at all. And I'm just going to use light pressure and just fuzz that over. So you don't want any water on your brush. This is all dry brushing. If you put water on your brush, it's going to make hard lines and you're not going to get that fuzzy line, and therefore you won't have that out of focus look. So this is going to be a little bit more bokeh'd and, fuzzed out because it's further away and it's in the background. So now I'm just going to take more pigment and I'm just going to hit the center of it. I'm not going to take it all the way out to those fuzzy lines because again, I don't want to lose that bokeh effect. And again, placing this paint where I want it heaviest. So with the rest of that, I'll put this in for this building here. And again, as paint runs off the brush, just very little paint left, and that is where I will use that to do the edges of the building and giving it that nice out of focus look. So I'm running the rest of that paint up again, and I'm taking out that fuzzy line just a little bit further, and in doing so it makes that bokeh a little bit more dramatic, making it more blurry. And again on this building as well, and it also smooths those lines out just a little bit so they're not so rough. But you do want to have that fuzzy rough edge anyways, just like so. Okay, so now on my palette I'm going to bring in some white now, some Phthalo Blue, and some Permanent Black. So now it's more to the blue side now, a little bit more white to lighten that up. So as you can see, I'm running that paint off my brush there, and there's just barely any paint at all. And again, it's a dry brush, so I'm going to go down where that fuzzy black and that sky meet, and I'm going to go right down there, and this is going to really enhance that bokeh just a little bit more by doing this. And now I want to bring it down, and I'll just fill that value in down here a little bit and kind of go over some of that. As you can see, I'm just kind of stirring that up a little bit and just kind of blending that up into everything, and see how much more blurred out that looks. Okay, a little bit more Titanium White just to settle that down a bit. And these values playing together, this fuzzy line and this added Payne's gray look to it really made it more fuzzy that way and more out of focus. So let's get a little bit more phthalo blue now into that, a little bit more black. So this is just a wee bit darker. And let's block in down here for this. Okay, no cleaning, just picking up permanent black and some more phthalo blue together. No titanium white into that. Let's get that darker value and bring it down and around this area. So now with my number 4 flat brush, I'm going to take some phthalo blue now and a touch of permanent black and titanium white, so there's more blue than black this time, and white to bring it up a little bit. And I'm going to use the width of my brush here, and I'm going to make the indications of some building details here, but it's still bokeh'd, so not a whole lot of detail, but just more of an impression. So that's going to be some windows and maybe some floors. So with permanent black on the edge of my number 4 flat, I'm just going to hash in and make this look like some floor levels here on the building. Okay, and now I'm going to go into titanium white and just a teeny bit of paint on the brush. I'm going to glaze over what I just did. And again, a dry brush, absolutely no water in this right now. So a little teeny bit more white. And I'm going to go up again and glaze up and make that a little bit brighter. So see, that makes it look frayed out and out of focus with that effect. Okay, now just more titanium white and more blue and black and some more to the gray side, and I want to streak that down. Okay, and now more phthalo blue. And over here, let's do something similar as well. Okay, so without cleaning, just going to get more titanium white now, and you can see I'm really wiping that paint off the brush a lot, so there's barely anything there. So again, same method, I'm going to glaze over like so, and that settles that down and makes that more bokeh'd. So now just more titanium white, and again, very little paint on the brush, and I'm going to strike just a couple edges vertically and horizontally, and that just kind of pops it out a little bit more. Okay, just picking up some phthalo blue now, and I'm just going to run that up here, just sort of dance that up. I'll settle that down after a little bit. Okay, so now I have my number 4 natural round bristle brush. You can see those little bristles there. That's going to really help to make fuzzy lines. So I've got Cad Yellow now, Cad Orange, Burnt Umber, Raw Umber, and this is Magenta Red. So I'm going to start with a little this yellow, a little bit of orange into that, and a little bit of Burnt Umber into that. More yellow, and a little bit of raw umber now, and now some phthalo blue. I want to make this very dark green color, so a little touch of permanent black into that, and not very much paint on the brush, so just gonna sort of fuzz this up like so. And this natural round bristle brush really helps to make that bokeh effect very nicely like that, and that just gives the indication of some foliage maybe on the sidewalk downtown. So now some yellow and a touch of orange, now some burnt umber into that, and a little bit more Cad Orange. So I'm looking for this dull sort of orangey color, and I'm going to play these colors around a little bit. And again, wiping a lot of that paint off the brush, and right here I want to create this glow that's going to be happening off a light that'll be there. And so with the paint left on the brush, I'm just going to give a little bit more pressure on it and lay more color down, and I'm just going to go in this circular motion, and this is going to be how I do these bokeh lights. And as you can see up close, it has this transparency look because there is hardly any paint on the brush, so that is one method on how to create transparent colors. So now I'm just going to take some Cad Orange and some Cad Yellow together, a little bit of Burnt Umber into that. And now some titanium white to bring that up. So just tapping off that color a little bit again, and let's go in and fill this bokeh in. And as you can see, as I start with paint heaviest in the middle first, and because there's not much paint on the brush, when it runs off, again, I'm doing that same method where there is some fuzzy line effect around that light. And again, leaving these fuzzy lines is giving it that blurry look. So now let's get some more Cad Yellow now and more titanium white, no cleaning yet. And tapping off that color, and let's fill in right here. So again, just taking that paint that's left and just running it out very lightly and giving it that fuzzy line. Okay, now just a little bit of titanium white, and I just want to brighten this up a bit. So after running that value of orange around a bit, now I'm going to take some Cad Yellow and more titanium white, and no cleaning yet. And right here where I want the paint heaviest first, and then as I get outside, I want to fuzz that into that already darker orange value there, and this is going to really create this nice glow and out of focus bright light that's happening. Okay, so with that same value now, I'm going to brighten this up as well, and I'm going to give this indication on the edge there, this transparency sort of look, so that makes it look like you can see the building through that bokeh light. So that's one way to create transparency as well, by changing the values of your colors a little bit. Okay, and with that same value, let's put one there, and let's put one here. Okay, so now I'm going to show a different method to bokeh lights. This is matte medium, and I'm going to apply this to my colors. That's going to make them transparent. So I got it in a different container here. And again, using my natural round bristle brush, I'm going to go into that same orangey color. With matte medium now, you can see it's that same color, but look, it's very transparent now. So this is another bokeh effect that's going to play in here with this other effect that I did before. So you want the fuzzy lines, and then sometimes there are some lights in the bokeh world where they don't have fuzzy lines, they're just solid, but then the thing is you can see right through them. So this is another effect that I'm going to add in here. And as you've seen my other videos, when it comes to making the eye go wow and not being a boring picture, it's really about all the values and different effects that get to play together, because it's like a recipe. The more flavor you put in there, the more you can make someone's tongue dance and go, wow, this tastes really good. So in this way, I want to make somebody's eye dance and go, wow, this is a cool painting. So when you have all these different effects playing together, you really enhance that. So just using that orangey color, as you can see there. So now I'm getting some Cad Yellow now, a little bit more Cad Orange, and let's go in, and I want to make this sort of glowing light, and I'm going to brighten that later, but I want to add this glow effect. So with this color now, I'm just going to go around and hit some of this. Okay, going back into some more of that orangey color there, and because there's already some matte medium in my brush, it's gonna make it so that it's still somewhat transparent, but again, it's like in between the first transparent ones I did and then the other solid ones that I did before with the fuzzy lines. So that's even yet sort of a different twist on the same effect, I guess you could say. So right here, just going to fill in that yellow orangey color here for these lights. Okay, now just some titanium white, and let's brighten some stuff up with that. Okay, with paint left on the brush, as you can see, I'm just dragging it out, and let's do some fuzzy stuff right there. That really helps to enhance a glow and a shine from that light. And now more titanium white, and I'm just gonna go in the center, as you can see, where I want it the heaviest first, and then just fading it out into that already faded value there. Okay, with paint left on the brush, I'm just gonna dance that up into here. This is just some indications that I'll settle down later. So I'm just gonna throw that up there. Okay, and so with that value now, again, just gonna fill in some more stuff. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into some more titanium white, a touch of phthalo blue, just a teeny bit of permanent black, so it's kind of like this very light Payne's gray, more to the gray side than the blue side. And you can really do any values you want. It's really about the effects and how we use the brush to make these fuzzy lines, like I said, and give all these different effects playing together. So this can be in any color scheme that you choose. And as long as the effects are made and all that, it should come out just fine. So just changing the value on those other bokeh lights there on the right that you saw. So now I'm going to my number 2 flat brush now, and with that I'm taking just some dark value of blue and black, and I'm going to fill in some dark shadow areas. So what's neat about this dark value as I go around these lights, this is going to give the indication of an automobile casting a shadow, and also enhance that bright light that's around it with that dark and that light contrasting together. So that really makes that pop, and I should say is going to make that pop, because I'm going to brighten those up and those are going to shine so bright. Okay, so just filling in that shadow, dancing it here and there, and anything you don't like you can cover up with a different value or knock it back to any degree to define or reshape it if it gets out of line. So, okay, more value, and let's go right here and give the indication of some automobile shadow stuff happening. Okay, so with my number 2 flat brush, just taking titanium white, and this is another effect with bokeh where 2 lights overlap. It always casts a slightly different color, so you can see right through them. So let's do that here. And it's like this sort of wedge shape. And let's also do that here. So this really gives transparency even more to these lights as they overlap one another, like so. And again, this is another effect that's going to play in here and enhance everything. So let's go in here now. I want to brighten some stuff up. And some of these colors are just base coats, and when I put the white over them, it's going to help them to glow and shine just that much more versus just using plain titanium white. So again, let's enhance that glow. I'm just picking up Cad Yellow, and I just want to strike the edges of some of this stuff and go around. And again, very little paint on the brush. That's the key to this whole thing. You always want to go less paint than you think you're going to need. And if you don't, then too much paint will render a hard line and you'll lose that blurry effect. Okay, just plain titanium white now. Again, my number 2 flat brush, and starting in the middle where I want it heaviest first, and I'm going to drag it out with less paint on the brush into that already faded peachy color there. And I'll do the same here with this other headlight. Okay, no cleaning, just picking up more Cad Yellow, a touch of Cad Orange into that. And I want to build this enhanced glow and really have it travel outside the edges here on this headlamp here. So by doing this, this really helps to brighten up the shine and the glow, and I think it also really enhances that bokeh out of focus look a little bit more. So again, you can do this in a different type of yellow or any color. Like I said, this is your painting. It's really about the effects, so not covering up everything and giving that fuzzy line and using very, very little paint on the brush each time I do this. So again, more yellow. Let's go right here and just sort of fuzz that over. Okay, more of this orangey color. And now more titanium white to brighten that up. And again, this is my number 2 flat brush, and let's make another small light here. Okay, no cleaning necessary. I'm just going to pick up some more Cad white. Is there such a color? I meant titanium white, with some of that Cad Orange mixture in there. And so let's start the reflections on the street here. This is going to show the indication of like a rainy day, and it's wet, so there's going to be this headlight reflection going on. Okay, just picking up a teeny bit of Cad Orange into that, and let's go down with this value, and I'll adjust this. I just want to get more or less the shape and the effect put down for now. Okay, now just going to pick up some Cad Orange now, a teeny touch of raw umber into that, and a little bit of titanium white to bring that up. So just a slight variation on value now. Let's go in with some of that on the reflections. Okay, with a clean number 2 flat brush now, just taking titanium white now, and where I want it the heaviest and brightest, I'm putting it there first, and then again, very little paint on the brush so I don't cover up that fuzzy line and lose my bokeh effect there. So I'm just going to fuzz that out into that other color there. Okay, a little bit more white. Let's brighten up these reflections. Okay, again, paint running off the brush and getting lighter and fuzzing that out. Okay, with that Cad Orange mixture again, and I'm going to go in here and change the value right here and where these overlap. So I just thought that made it look a little bit more realistic and gave it more interest. As you can see there, it pops it out a little bit more. So just in some places here and there. Okay, and now with a clean brush, just titanium white, and I want to settle down over that just a little bit. And also with titanium white, let's brighten up these headlamps as well. Okay, going back into our burnt umber, our Cad Yellow, a touch of Cad Orange, some titanium white. As you can see, it's this very light orangey color here. And again, very little paint on the brush. As you can see, I'm just sort of glazing that over, and this is going to create a little bit of a glow effect off of this headlamp. Okay, so now I'm just going to take Magenta Red straight up, and this bokeh effect now that I'm going to add in is going to be these lights that are not transparent and also don't have any fuzzy edges to them. So these are solid ones, as you will find in the bokeh world. If you ever looked at a blurry photography picture, you're going to have some lights that have fuzzy edges and others that have solid lines. So this is again another effect that's being played into here, and again that adds more interest and more variation. So let's change the value now for the other light. I'm going to put a little bit of Cad Orange into that. That just sort of helps make it more vibrant. And let's add one as well right here. Okay, let's add some shine to this. Let's put a little titanium white. So I did not clean my brush, and I can just brighten this up a little bit. Okay, and now I'm just going to go in with a clean brush now, just a touch of that orangey color and mostly titanium white. Let's brighten this guy up right here, and let's go and brighten some other things as well. Okay, with a clean number 2 flat and just titanium white, let's make these as bright as we possibly can and build this up. And again, I don't want to drag this white all the way out, but I want to have that fuzzy edge showing. So just brightening it up and preserving my edges as they should be. Okay, with the white left on my brush, I'm just going to drag that around here and there, and this really helps to show the indication of a very wet looking street. Okay, and just taking just a teeny bit of Cad Yellow, I want to go back in and re-enhance and rediscover this glow and this shine of these headlights that I lost a little bit. So again, just barely any paint on the brush, again no water at all. And I'm keeping that fuzzy effect going, and I can add back anything that gets covered up very easily. And really anything you want to do, you can just fix anything and come back in again. So now just titanium white, I just kind of want to make these a little bit brighter. And a little bit more titanium white here to brighten this one up as well. And just really making things shine and pop just a little bit more. Okay, so with just some phthalo blue and just a teeny bit of white and black, I'm going to drag that up and give some indications of some building stuff. So I'm going to settle this down, but I just kind of want to throw that up there just for now. Okay, with my number 18 flat brush, I'm taking that dark building value there of blue and black, and I just want to brush over this and settle that down. So I'm not sure what this is. This is just kind of some indication and blurred out, maybe detail impressions of the building there on the side. So whatever you want to call it or whatever you want it to be. So now I'm just taking titanium white, as you can see, and I'm just kind of messing with these reflections just a little bit more. Okay, going into some more dark value of black and blue there, and just a teeny bit of paint on the brush. I want to go in and add a little bit of more dark value in here. So there's more titanium white this time into that dark value. As you can see, it's not the same exact color as that building value, but it's a little darker than the lighter stuff. So this adds more interest and more depth and all that into the road here, and just kind of brings in more contrast effect that way. Okay, more titanium white. Let's make these as bright as we can. Okay, now more Cad Orange into this right here. Let's just enhance and make this more vibrant. Alright, so with just some dark value again on this building, I want to settle down some of this little dance around mess I made there. Okay, and let's go in and enhance some more of this reflection stuff here from the headlights. Okay guys, so that's it. I went ahead and signed, and thank you guys so much for watching and all your support. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already for more video lessons I'll be putting out on a regular basis. This is very simple, couple brush stroke technique. This is really about the techniques and less about the colors. So any color scheme you want to do, go for it. I'd love to see your results, especially if you do change a color scheme, at my Facebook like page down in the description box at the Acrylic Asylum with Mike Fair. Post your results you do with me. I'd love to see your work. Drop any questions or comments you have down below. Till next time, happy painting everyone.